Now that we know Vice President Dick Cheney and Senator Barack Obama are distant cousins.
In my book, there's a lot of genealogical research, you know, going back, Dick's family, my family, these heroic and amazing tales of people who went west. But one of the things I discovered is that Dick and Barack Obama are 8th cousins. What? Is that an amazing thing? Yes, if you go back 8 generations, really? They have a common ancestor.
The New York Post decided to check into the genealogy of President Bush, and his family tree has people talking.
Many of the United States presidents have blood relations with each other. The Bush lineage has blood ties to a great number of former presidents. George Washington, Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses Grant, Rutherford Hayes, James Garfield, Grover Cleveland, Teddy Roosevelt, William Taft, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin Roosevelt, Richard Nixon, and Gerald Ford.
We all know his father, but what about his cousins? Check out this family tree, done with research by Ancestry.com. Let me take you through this, branch by branch. Vice President Dick Cheney, the man who's only a heartbeat away from the presidency, is actually a blood relation. He's President Bush's 9th cousin once removed. Cheney's cousin Barack Obama is also Bush's 11th cousin, and the 9th cousin of Brad Pitt.
In either of those first 2 books, though, who knew you and Dick Cheney cousins?
You know, listen, I don't think I'm going to family reunion. I don't know how I'll be greeted.
Michael Tessarion points out in his work that Bush is closely related to every European monarch on and off the throne, and has kinship with every member of Britain's royal family. Bush's family tree can be documented as far back as the early 15th century. He has a direct descent from Henry III and from Henry VIII's sister Mary Tudor. He is also descended from Charles II of England.
What if we were to tell you that American presidents aren't chosen by ballot, but instead by blood?
Look, there's a...
That's right. The candidate with the bluest blood has won the race for president every time. And according to a man who writes things on the internet, 33 U.S. presidents are descendants of Emperor Charlemagne.
What's up? What's up? What's that? What's up? Who is it?
And it doesn't stop there. These guys aren't just related to royalty, they're related to each other.
But we're only just getting started. President Lincoln was President Bush's 7th cousin 5 times removed, and Bush shared more than just a ballot with John Kerry. That's right, they're 9th cousins twice removed. Princess Diana was Bush's 11th cousin twice removed.
But no, you know, these folks have been doing all these genealogies on me, and you know, they've found all sorts of strange connections.
This has got to be the strangest, though.
Well, listen, if you go back far enough, you know, you got all kinds of crooks and thieves in your family.
Incest was practiced by ancient Egyptian royalty. Mothers married sons and brothers married sisters to keep the power and the money all in the family. Like their Pharaonic ancestors, the British monarchy have a long history of incestuous inbreeding.
And then there's this bombshell.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Sure, she may have been singing to JFK, but what about GWB? He is, after all, her 9th cousin, 3 times removed.
Clinton's related to Ford, Bush is related to Cheney, and guess who Cheney's related to? That's right, Barack Obama.
What did you make of that story? For those who don't know this, so Lynn Cheney, the vice president's wife, has been doing some genealogy connected to her latest book, and lo and behold, way back, what, 8 generations ago?
8 generations or
you
something.
and Mr. Cheney apparently have some distant relative in What did you make of that story when it came?
You know, I actually knew about it because somebody had done some genealogy before, and they had sent it to me, this long sheet, and, you know, had all these famous names, you know, Mark Twain and this and that and the other, and then Dick Cheney, and I took a pause. You know, I just said, well, you know, as long as he's okay with it, I'm okay with it too, because I'm not going to stop talking about these messed up policies in Iraq just because.
Your cousin.
Yeah, we're not kissing cousins, as they say.
And we also find that George W. Bush is a direct descendant of Godfrey the Bullion. Godfrey was the first king of Jerusalem after he recaptured it from the Saracens, which was the name for the Islamic faith during the Middle Ages. It is interesting to note that the current occupation of the United States in the Middle East was re-established by the same family, George Bush Sr. in 1991, and again by George Bush Jr. in 2003. George Bush Jr. is then found to be a cousin to both opposing candidates of his 2 terms in office, Al Gore and John Kerry. Democratic President Barack Obama also has blood ties with George W. Bush, as well as Gerald Ford, Lyndon Johnson, Harry Truman, James Madison, and the British Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill. On the opposing side of the 2008 presidential ballot, John McCain is descended from Robert the Bruce, King William I of Scotland, and also Godfrey the Bullion.
He's also related to Playboy founder Hugh Hefner, even Pocahontas, and Vlad the Impaler.
Well, Mitt Romney and Mike Huckabee are 10th cousins once removed, also known as kissing cousins. And Rudy Giuliani, well, he's just related to the mob.
Holy shit.
What about Hillary? Well, she's 10th cousins with Madonna and 9th cousins with Angelina Jolie.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
And of course, Barack Obama has said he doesn't think he and Cheney are kissing cousins, but Brad Pitt says if it's true, he's in great company.
It is a big idea, a new world order.
I just don't pull things out of thin air to make connections. I'm going to touch upon Vlad the Impaler, also known as Dracula, and understand how Dracula, with the origin of that meaning for that name in Romanian means. It means son of Dracul. Therefore, young Vlad was son of the dragon or son of the devil. And you're going to see the connection with this video clip with Prince Charles talking about how he's related to Vlad the Impaler. So you're going to see how the so-called elite that run this world from behind the scenes, they're all in the bloodline of Lucifer and the fallen angels.
I am Dracula.
Prince Charles and Dracula, 2 names that don't seem to go together. However, the Romanian Tourism Board is playing up a connection between Prince Charles and Count Dracula. Romanian officials have released a brochure at a World Travel Market, a travel industry event in London, including a fact that 63-year-old Prince Charles has a distant link to Vlad the Impaler, a nobleman from the 15th century who helped to inspire the vampire legend Dracula. Last year, the prince stated in an interview, "Transylvania is in my blood. The genealogy shows I am descendant of Vlad the Impaler, so I do have a bit of a stake in the country."
And His Royal Highness Prince Charles, who can trace his ancestry back to Romania's dark and distant past.
The genealogy shows that I'm descended from Vlad the Impaler, you see. So I do have a bit of a stake in the country.
Prince Charles actually owns a house in Transylvania, and he appears in a video used by Romanian authorities to promote the country. The Prince of Wales is certainly not ashamed of his heritage and Romanian roots. He states, "Transylvania has so much to teach us. It's the last corner of Europe where we see true sustainability. We must learn from that before it's too late." What do you think about a possible connection between Prince Charles and Dracula?
Now, taking a look at this side-by-side of Prince Charles and Dracula, the resemblance is amazing. Look at that nose. Basically identical. The facial features, one and the same. I can completely see how they are related, no doubt. Now understand, of course, Dracula is well known for drinking blood, and this is all about Satanism, of course, doing everything in opposition of the Bible, where the Bible states in Deuteronomy, "Only be sure that you eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and you may not eat the life with the flesh."